Washington Pod presents Earl Nightingale.
I've got another book to recommend to you, particularly if you're the fast-moving, high-powered, racing-the-clock type of person. The book is entitled Type A Behavior and Your Heart. Now, here's a book that might add years to your life, and good years, too. These are the cardiologists who have identified the number one cause of heart attack. And there's a lot more here than good medical advice. The title of the book is, again, Type A Behavior and Your Heart. It's published by Alfred Knopf. It's by Meyer, Friedman, and Ray H. Rosenman, both medical doctors and both having spent many, many years of their lives studying this particular subject and working in this field. Reading this book will cause a person to take a new long look at himself and his life and goals. The Type A person in a headlong rush toward success is more often than not in a headlong rush toward a coronary, and so busy trying to avoid wasting time that he wastes his life instead, and they point out that hurrying seldom accomplishes anything worthwhile. In the chapter on what to do if you're Type A, the doctors point out that if you are a Type A person, it's more than likely that you've never submitted your basic capacities and qualities to a rigorous self-appraisal. If you wish to diminish the intensity of the behavior pattern, you must try. Until such an appraisal is made, you never will know just how strong or weak your intellectual and emotional processes really are. Lacking such self-knowledge, you can't help feeling insecure. Your basic security does not depend upon, nor can it be safeguarded by, the opinions of your friends and associates. It depends upon your own precise awareness not only of your positive qualities and capacities, but also of your inadequacies. In fact, facing up to the latter, your inadequacies may well increase your sense of security rather than diminish it. If you possess an absolutely unbiased picture of yourself, you'll become far less dependent upon the opinions of other persons, and far less inclined toward a frenzied career of acquiring more and more numbers. You'll begin to understand that you've harried yourself mercilessly and needlessly in the past in an essentially vain effort to gain security from outside events and persons, when the only real hope for such security lay in frank self-evaluations. And so they then offer a 10-point personal appraisal questionnaire. 1. In a meaningful self-appraisal, you must first attempt to determine just how intelligent, how percipient, and how creative you've been in your job. 2. You must examine your sense of humor to determine how it served you. Is it chiefly a repository for jokes and anecdotes, or does it function as it should to help you perceive your own occasionally ludicrous aspects? 3. You must assess your capacity for flexibility, for change of pace, and for rapid adaptability to change. 4. You must look at your leadership qualities and determine their worth. 5. You must examine all the activities that now absorb your intellectual, emotional, and spiritual interests. How many of these activities have to do with your concern with art, literature, music, drama, philosophy, history, science, and the wonders of the natural world that envelop you? 6. You must seek out and assess the intensity of your free-floating hostilities. As you do so, don't allow either rationalization or sophistry to blind you to their possible presence. 7. You must try to estimate the ease with which you can receive and give loyalty and affection. 8. You must attempt to determine the amount of sheer courage you possess. And if in this essay you detect some very large yellow splotches of frank fear in your personality, don't overlook them. Treasure them, just as you will treasure the steel-gray masses of frank courage you're likely to find there, too. 9. You must dare to examine critically, as we were doing in the beginning of this issue, your ethical and moral principles. How honest have I been in my life? How often and under what circumstances have I cheated, lied, and borne false witness against my neighbor? These are questions you must not fail to present to yourself, and painful as it may be in the beginning, stubbornly persist in providing yourself with true answers. 10, and finally, you must not be afraid to ask, and this one's really important, and to persist in asking yourself over and over until you have answered the question, what, apart from the eternal clutter of my everyday living, should be the essence of my life?